Many moons ago, I did some awesome thinking with massive compute power and came up with a Sat Nav mount design. After churning over the technical details, I decided this engineering feat was a doer. So one of two of you have asked me, probably about two, have asked me how I fitted my Sat Nav. This is going to be a real anticlimax. So first off, screen off, and the Allen key from the toolkit's fine for this. Right. So I'll have to get access to this binnacle, but I want to take this binnacle off so I can drill it and stuff. Well, as you can see, I've already done it, but it's just showing you what you need to do. So I need to release this here so I can slide this cowl, if you like, over the clocks up and out. So again, same Allen key, just releases this screw here. Which then releases this whole mechanism here. And this is what's going up and down with our motor here. So I'm going to just put that screw back in there so I don't lose it. You don't have to take that off or anything. And you can see we've got two more Allen bolts here, and again, same Allen key. There we are, three. There's a couple of just sliding catches underneath. I'm going to take my Sat Nav now off to give me a better view. There, that's away. I was just unclipping, getting those clips out there. Right, so all I did, this cowl here, I just screwed on a ram mount ball, a 1-inch ram mount ball. So these are just some little M4 bolts. The ram mount base it's a 1-inch ball, and it's 2-inch by 1.7 inch. And the ram mount part number is RAP-B-347. That's that. And all I'm doing is mounting it as close to this edge as I can. But there's a little bit of foam under there, because obviously this is curved, and that's just to take up some of that curvature there. But it's solid as a rock. So once I drilled that, and don't worry about drilling it, I think these brand new are something like £17, £18 from Triumph. So you know, if you change your mind at a later date, you're selling the bike on to replace that, it's no big deal. Personally, I'd just put a bit of black silicone in there, to be honest, if I sold it on and took that ball with me, or leave the ball on. So I drilled that, put that on. So that was £5.83. Couple of quid for a few bolts. Well, I had them lying around actually. That's it. That's the sum total of my Sat Nav mount. So I put that on, refit this, and those little legs there just going into these rubber mounts here. Just have to wiggle it a bit. There you are. In. I can feel that going in straight away. That's it, it's back on. Now this is a bit flexible. So what I do as well, get some high density foam, polystyrene, anything, and I wedge it between the clocks and this. Otherwise it vibrates too much when you're on the road. wedging a bit of that between the dash and this gets rid of about 85% of vibration. Doesn't totally eliminate it, but it's good enough. So just some packing foam that I had lying around. It's got to be quite high density stuff, the kind of plasticky stuff though, not the soft stuff. Otherwise it doesn't work. Now there are screen mounts that mount on the inside here to the inside of the screen and go up and down with the screen by a few manufacturers. Most people on the forums find them pretty poor and not very good value for money. So I would say don't bother with them. Anyway, so put my screen mechanism back on. And those ones that mount to the screen, it's not because the manufacturer manufactured a crappy product. It's because of this whole mechanism that this Triumph screen kind of wobbles about a bit. It is a kind of a bit of a flexible kind of screen, you know, with a bit of clearance and these pivots here, a bit of flexing in this material because it's plastic, that of course flexing in the screen itself. So the overall effect is that this screen does kind of flex a bit, obviously. Well, owners know that anyway, but. So now, what did I get with my TomTom? I got, obviously this connection with my TomTom. And it's just a question of then mounting it. But because this is offset, I'm just offsetting that, like so. Let's have a closer look at that. So there's the RAM mount I just fitted. The arm that came with the TomTom 550 on my mounting base. Between this dash here, that's where I wedged my bit of foam there. Just to stop that kind of wobbling a bit. What I also did is when you fit the screen fits up there and there's a nice bit of clearance here. But when you start driving at speed, as I said, this whole mechanism is a bit flexible and the screen pushes back, and it can push back on this depending on where you have the screen. So I actually did, this is an offcut of my grip puppies, and I fitted that round there just to stop it rubbing on the inside of the screen occasionally, depending on where I had the screen. That could be anything, a piece of rubber, elastic band, whatever. So that's my £5.83 TomTom 550 Sat Nav mount. Now there's no room for the locking mechanism. There's just too much gubbins, there's not enough clearance. I just take my TomTom off and put it in side bags if I'm going in somewhere. So that's it. It really is a very quick job. These M4 bolts are about 16 mil long, give or take. It's very simple to do. These mounting points here where the screen goes, there are kind of foamy washers. There's one left on here. Get rid of them, just get rid of them. They actually increase the amount of screen wobble. They increase the amount of screen wobble because they're just adding, they're very soft, they're just adding more room for the screen to move from here. Now, if you say, oh look, that's going to scratch the back of my screen, well you've got a nut over there, you're never going to see it. It really doesn't matter whether you scratch it or not. If you really want to, you could put a washer there. Okay, that one's a bit thick. You could put a firm, solid washer there, rubber washer there if you wanted to. That's actually a tap washer, isn't it? Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that one's a bit chunky, but you could do that if you wanted to. But yeah, get rid of these foamy washers here. They just add more flex to the screen. If you found you've mounted it and you're finding this is getting in the way, you can always mount this upside down and clip the TomTom up from below. Okay, the TomTom writing would be the wrong way up on your sat nav, but hey, who cares? See what I mean? But the screen will auto rotate, so you'll have your TomTom writing upside down. But I actually don't, I found I don't need to do that. So I do have it that way up most of the time. Well, all the time when I use it. Now, there's some guys on the forum, triumph-explorer.com, who've made some really nice brackets. And they've gone to town and used these pivot points here, created a steel or an aluminium bracket to go across, over the top and round the other side, and a bit of engineering work, and they've made a really sturdy bracket, which you could mount your ram mount ball on. I've not gone down that road, but that's another way of doing it. But they're kind of making them, a few odd people are making them batches of 10. So if someone's ordering some up, and if there's 10 people interested, you can get those. So go to the triumph-explorer.com website, which is a good forum actually. Great ideas from that, brilliant ideas from that. So that's it. That's my £5.83 version anyway. It's not perfect, you know. You can see that vibration there. As I say, look, I haven't got the foam in there yet. And that gets rid of 85% of it. But it doesn't get rid of 100% of it. But I find it good enough for navigating. I'll just wedge my piece of foam back in. Had some black ones at one side. I don't know where that's gone. I'll stick with the white for now. That's it. I've never that stops you from adjusting the screen. You know, you can adjust the screen back and forward. But I've never adjusted this screen. I've never found it to be a bad screen. So there we are. That gets rid of more of the vibration. That dampens that vibration. Makes it much sturdier. Cool. Actually, that was a bit of a bonus. Those 1/2-inch tap washers are just pulling that screen 2 or 3 mil further back, give me a little bit more clearance for the TomTom. So I'll stick with that. Using those tap washers there, those firmer rubber washers there, actually got rid of a little bit of that flex as well. Not too much, because there's so much looseness in the rest of the mechanism, but it's got rid of a little bit of it, so that's great. A little added bonus too. Bonus feature article. Don't ever buy the SW Motec tank bag GPS mount. It's the stupidest thing they ever came out with. And I love SW Motec gear. Here, look, I'll show you. Now, it comes with this nice bracket and a bunch of screws that go in the back of that, and you screw your TomTom or see they make Garmin mount direct to that. So that's great. This goes on very easily. There's already pre-made space for it. If I get my head out of the way. Let's have a look, come on, come on. We'll get there. Great. And that clips on, sturdy as hell. You adjust these, you mount there. So, your sat nav is now sitting here. A, is that the most stupidest place for a sat nav? B, these screws here go loose every couple of miles and your sat nav ends up wobbling away like this. I was going down the road, one of these completely fell out down the road, and the whole bracket was hanging on by one screw. And you're going, oh, well, great, why don't you put a nut the other end and tighten it up so it's solid? Well, if you do that, then you can't open the tank bag because it impinges on the hinge. So this has to be flexible. So if you're going to open your tank brake, it's just the stupidest design. And I'm surprised the Germans designed it, because I haven't got a shit piece of SW Motec gear ever, except for that. And I've really screwed my chances of selling that on eBay now, haven't I? But yeah, avoid that. It looked promising, but it was stupid in the end.